Like she said, my name is Brandy Nicole. Though I own and operate Project Restoration, I really help my people level up in so many areas, mentally, spiritually, financially, physically, all that. And so I pride myself in doing that. And this work that I do is very, very purpose filled. So I work in a very lucrative industry, but more than that, the gratification I get is from really serving my people. People have also known me as a credit catalyst, literally a change agent. And so even as Whitney came on and she kind of explained to you guys how we took her from a 400 to over a 700 within maybe a month or two, we've been able to do that for so many people. I've been in business since I haven't worked a job in over seven years, you guys. So I've been doing this faithfully. This business has taken care of my family, and it is an honor. And so we also have a nonprofit. And so in the nonprofit, we really help the low income family. So every person that pays for credit repair through my program, we gift the low income family the same gift of credit repair. What's most important to me about what I do is the financial literacy part. I know for me, I didn't learn about this stuff when I was growing up, y'all. I know for a fact, I didn't learn about this stuff in school. I came from a very low income family who didn't have the tools. And so my mother did the best that she could, but she didn't know. And so with that, I didn't know. And so I made a bunch of mistakes growing up. And as I've been able to learn, it's my desire to really pay it forward and educate our community so that we are fully equipped to be able to deal with our finances in a more healthy way. And then since I got the memo that most of y'all, well, I think everybody on here is a believer, I'm just going to talk kingdom talk to y'all. This is my area. I'm excited about that. I can be authentically myself, and I know it's going to bless some of you guys. What I know to be true is that we are king's kids, y'all. We are supposed to live in abundance, right? And so if we're supposed to have life and life more abundant, there's no reason for us to live underneath what we've been promised or what we've been offered, right? And so it's my goal to help us to really, really level up, because I know for me, I had to deal with a whole lot of self-limiting beliefs. For me, I was like, I don't need that much. I don't need to be greedy. Up until, August of 2019, though I was living a good life, I never really challenged myself, y'all, because I didn't want to seem greedy, or I didn't want to seem like I was taking too much. I didn't feel like I needed it. But y'all, it's so many reasons why we need more money. It opens the door for us to be able to help people. Like, we can travel more. A lot of people don't go into business for themselves because they just don't have the money, right? And so not only am I able to bless my family, I'm able to bless so many more people with the money. And so when I changed my mindset, it helped me tremendously. And what I do know also is we perish, y'all, for a lack of knowledge. Like, sometimes we just don't know better. And so we're not doing better. And like Whitney said, once we get this knowledge, it's so important that we begin to apply it. That's what wisdom is, applying the knowledge that we attain. So whatever y'all getting from these classes, man, start to execute. It's going to be difficult, especially if you're stuck in cycles and you've been doing this thing for a certain amount of time and things have been normalized. But I charge y'all to really, really do the work. Step outside of yourselves, because if you want better, you got to do better. And of course, y'all know, to whom much is given, much will be required. So it's not just going to come to you. Y'all know that faith without works is dead. So you have to put the work with your faith. Okay. So I want to tell y'all about a story. And so since we're on manifesting money and all that, I want to go into my own personal story about when I started to manifest my current lifestyle that I have. I wanted to share my screen, but we had some echoing. So I'll drop this vision board in the chat. But literally, I think August 2019 was probably one of the roughest seasons of my life, right? My daughter had ran away. She was just being a young teenager, and it was very, very difficult for me. And so I was having a real, real hard time, y'all. And so what I decided, of course, I went to my prayer closet and I prayed about it. But what I realized I had to do was I had to get more active. And so I began to throw myself into my work. But before I did that, of course, I knew this just foundationally. If I write the vision and make it plain, it will hold me more accountable. And so what I began to do is I began to decide what I wanted. That's the first thing, y'all. Y'all got to make a decision. What do I want? Because if you're just out here in the dark, just feeling your way out, like, you know, if you don't have a plan, you are going to fail. So figure out what it is you really want. That was hard for me because I have been a people pleaser for majority of my life. And so what I wanted was what everybody else wanted. And so I had to take a moment to decide, what is it that I really want? Once I wrote that stuff down, I literally went, and I'm gonna drop this picture of my vision board in the chat, but I went on Google and I started typing in things that I wanted, right? I pulled them onto a Canva, and I'm not even a Canva expert, y'all, but I went on Canva, I found a blank board, and I started pulling the pictures onto this board, right? So one of them was real estate. And so I wanted to own my own property without a husband, without a spouse, anything like that. Of course, if you follow me, you know, I literally just built my house from the ground up in July. One of the things on here was real estate. It was a house on here. One of the things on my vision board, y'all, was travel. I kid you not. Once I put this board up, once I put all this stuff on my board, I put it on my screensaver on my computer. I put it on my screensaver on my phone. And I wanted to make sure that I was able to see this often, right? I wanted to travel, y'all. Out of nowhere, a young lady called me. She had flight benefits. She asked me if I wanted to buy them. I think it was like $500 or $1,000, y'all. For the whole 2019, I traveled for basically free. So this was something that I said I wanted to do. I'm like, I want to travel more. I want a Range Rover Velar. That year, I walked into the dealership, no problem at all, got the car that I wanted. I said that I wanted to find joy in my journey. And that was really, really important for me because, y'all, when we going through it, sometimes all we can see is what we going through. And we can't find the joy in the journey. We can't even really focus on the things that we're grateful for because we're so caught up in what's going wrong. And so these were some of the things that I asked for. And then one of the things I put on there was happily ever after. But happily ever after didn't mean a husband for me. Happily ever after meant me falling in love with myself. And so I was able to actually master that as well. And then another thing on here was money flows easily to me. Y'all, that year, I probably 6 times my income that year. And another thing was on here was speaking. And so I know I have a gift that I'm supposed to really talk to. I know I'm supposed to share my story and encourage and motivate. All of a sudden, I'm getting all these speaking engagements. And so all that to say, once I made the vision clear, you know what I mean? I began to understand that what I was going through at the time was very temporary because I knew greater was coming. But in order to manifest something like this, you have to believe. Let it be to you according to your faith. And so if you believe it, you will receive it. And so if you guys are struggling with belief, there's a prayer you can pray. You can just ask God, God, I believe, but help my unbelief because we're human, right? And so you literally have to practice at this thing. It's not going to happen overnight, but just don't waver. Try not to waver and just know that God is the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore. And what he did for one, he'll do for another. He's not a respecter of person. And so if you get your mind fixed on this is my inheritance, it's going to flow to you. And I don't care what comes against you. You got to know that no weapon that's formed is really going to prosper. And everything that's happened is still going to work out for the good because it's usually not going to be easy. Anything worth having is usually going to come with some kind of test, right? And so when the tests come, you have to know that this is just temporary and that greater is coming. So your latter will be greater. All right, boom, there we go. So that's my story about manifestation. You guys, I know that it works. I learned this from one of my younger friends. If you guys follow me, you probably see Kay Chanel all over the place. And Kay showed me how to manifest on a higher level. Because though my life was really good, she showed me that there was more to it. And even when she came to me as a client, one thing I love about this girl is she's got crazy faith. When she came to me as a client, something that I thought would take 6 months for her, when she came in the door, she said, no, this ain't gonna take that long for me. In a month, it's gonna happen. And just like that, it happened. And so it's really important to watch what you're speaking because your tongue has creative properties. And so be very, very careful about what you declare and what you speak, because I'm telling you, it will sneak back up on you. Okay. So I want you guys, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it, but I want some of you guys to kind of tell me what kind of businesses y'all have, because we're gonna transition into business credit. So if y'all can drop it in the chat, what kind of businesses do you guys have? Okay, Ty, you right. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Okay. Hi.
That's an unmute.
Hey, Crystal. I'm sorry, it's my baby on here. So that I braid too. Hello, Miss Regina, coaching and financial literacy. I see that. Financial services. Hello. Real estate investing. Okay, so all of these businesses, I just started my art business. Congratulations, Janice. It's going to be great. International real estate. Okay, wonderful, you guys. I'm so proud of all of you guys. So all of you guys have businesses which require money. It requires capital. And so my job on tonight is to kind of tell you guys a little bit more about business credit. how it can help you, and how it works. So what I know for sure is a lot of people want to do their own thing, but they're limited and they're afraid because they just don't have the money. So before we even segue into business credit, if your personal credit is not on point, we have something for you guys, and I'll drop this in the chat tonight. We're going to discount credit repair. So if you have a 680 or lower, that's terrible credit in the business world. If you have a 680 or lower, you need to be on our books. And just let me tell y'all what personal credit will do for you guys. It's not your traditional credit repair. Not only are we going to remove the negative items from your credit report, we're going to help you to build your credit, but we're also going to provide you with financial literacy. So over the course of 100 days, we're going to push credit education to you so that not only will you know how to maintain your good credit status once you get it, you'll also know how to leverage your credit, how to turn that credit into cash, and how to make that credit work for you. So that's personal credit. So if your personal credit is not on point, this is so important, y'all. It's super duper important. Yes, you can get approved for a lot solely off the EIN, but it's nothing like what you can get approved for if your personal credit was in order. So y'all, definitely let's get these financial houses in order. We have to have our affairs in order. And this is so important that we do this in season or out, because situations will arise. Like prime example, when that EIDL money was out, a lot of us have businesses, but nobody really legitimized their businesses. So now they got to try and finesse documents, and they got to try and do all this stuff. But if you had your affairs in order before, none of that would have been necessary. So I'm going to tell you guys the blueprint of how to get that stuff on track. But I just wanted to kind of touch on the personal credit part. That's super important, y'all. And then once you learn this information, you can pay it forward. And for me, the reason why personal credit was so important for me, of course, was to break that generational curse, but also so that I can provide my daughter with the tools that she needed so that she didn't go through the same exact things that I went through as well. So business credit. Okay, so yes, business credit is so much better than personal credit because you're going to get approved for way, way more. Many of you guys, some of you guys are my clients already, and you guys know I'll teach you how to live off your reward points. A lot of people have this mindset that they're going to buy cash. They're going to use cash for everything. If you're in business for a little time, you'll realize that that ain't the way. Okay. It's so much better to use other people's money. And even for myself, I remember I never took out business loans. I never did much with business credit because I just didn't know. And so now I know to never leave money on the table if I have the ability to get this money. Now with business credit, even if you don't necessarily need the money right now, I recommend you start building now, just so that when you do need it, your foundation is in order. You have everything that you need so that you can get approved for high amounts. I'll say that. Let me see. So things that you can do with your business credit, y'all. So I seen somebody on here, they have an art business. Some of you guys do real estate. Business credit is going to be able to pay for your marketing. It can pay your employees. It can pay for your clothes. It can pay for your car. You can even get vehicles in your business name. So that's super important. All of my vehicles are in my business name. I personally guarantee the first one, but it never pops up on my actual business credit report. And you guys, like what you would get approved. So with business credit, I know if you guys know this, credit usage is a huge factor when you have personal credit. So say, for instance, you were leveraging your personal credit. If you maxed out all of your credit cards, your score is going to plummet. With business credit, that is not the case. You can max out $100,000, and as long as you're making your payments on time, it'll never affect your actual credit score. So that's business credit. Other things that you can do with business credit. Oh my God, some of you guys are in the Airbnb business. You can furnish the places. You don't have to worry about your own money. And God forbid the business plummets, God forbid, but you can bankrupt that business and it won't fall back on you. So I recommend you guys get your business credit together. And so in order for us, hold on one second. How long I got? Okay. I don't want to take up all y'all time. But for business credit, I would say that takes about 6 to 9 months to build. If your personal credit is not on point, you can do that simultaneously. There are things that you can get approved for almost immediately. Like you can literally go to the Mercedes-Benz dealership today, even if your business was only in business for 30 days, as long as your personal credit is in order, you can get a fleet of vehicles. So there's people who want to get into the Turo business, who want to get into transportation. Audi is like that as well. As long as the business has been incorporated for at least 30 days, you can get approved for an actual vehicle. But it's important that your personal credit is on point as well. Dang, I feel like I'm missing something, y'all. Oh, this is super important, y'all. This is biblical too. Number one, if you guys start on this business credit journey, first of all, it's going to be really important that you discipline yourself, because you have to be a good steward over this. And you start by being faithful over the little that you have. So if you're faithful over a little bit, then you can be faithful over a lot. So figure out exactly what your plan is. So once your business credit foundation is together, once you start building, it's important that you have a plan for this money, because what you don't want to do is take out a loan that you have no, that you don't desire to pay back. I'm not going to teach y'all how to finesse the system, y'all. I want y'all to do right by this, because the goal for us, you guys, is to leave an inheritance to our kids. Mm-hmm. We trying to make this money, not just for us, not so that we can stunt, not so that we can live large, but so that we can truly be a blessing to the people around us, and so we can leave an inheritance. I'm sorry. And then there's a couple ways I can help you guys with business credit. And then I'm going to I'm going to drop some free stuff in the chat for you guys once I get off the call. But if you want to, first of all, I wrote a credit ebook on business credit. You can literally go online, grab the book, and you can do a DIY yourself. It's super duper simple, you guys, as long as you're organized and you pay your bills on time. All the step-by-step instructions are on there. It's just too much for me to tell you guys on this call, but if you buy the ebook, you can literally get all the steps there, or you can schedule a consultation. The consultation is $129. I'll look at the business as a whole. I'll look for any holes in your foundation. I'll help you fill them, and I'll give you my highest recommendations on how you can get the highest Paydex score, Experian business, and Equifax business. Or what else was next? Sorry, y'all. 1 second. Okay. I was just also going to say that with your credit, your business credit, your personal credit, it can provide you with passive income. If y'all follow me, y'all know I fly for free. I buy groceries everything I do is off my points usually. And so I teach you guys how to get approved for high level credit cards, the American Expresses, the Delta, anything that you need. I can help you. And on that business credit consultation, I'll be able to look at your file specifically to let you know exactly what you have to do. And then I can give you a game plan. I think that's it. Can I open it up for questions? No?
Yeah, let answer this really quick. If your business is kind of small, like maybe the artist, mm-hmm. Her business is kind of small. She might just have an employee. Like, it's still important to go through and get your business credit and funding together.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because even if
no matter how big or small your business.
Oh no, even if you have one employee. So you guys, let me tell y'all something real stupid I did. And I meant to tell y'all about this because this is about leaving money on the table. When the PPP money came, my business was eligible for PPP. You know what I said? We don't need that. And the money was forgivable. Yeah. Okay. So that's just that. So even if you had one employee and you were your own employee, you get approved for grants. Not only grants, and you just never know. And though you're starting small, you have to have vision for your future. You got to know that it's not always just going to be you. You got to know that in order to grow, you have to multiply, because of course, 1,000, 2, 10,000. And so you got to make sure that you have a mindset that you're looking to grow, that you know you're going to grow, and start preparing now. Because for me, I was like, oh, we don't need this. It's because I lack vision for the future. Now I can see the future. Now I have a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, and a 10-year plan. So start now, because you never know when you may need it. And even if you just have it sitting, even if you have these credit cards sitting, it's okay. You may need them in the future.
Mm-hmm.